Hello everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm going to start out with a little bit of space weather, and then we're going to talk about a couple of interesting articles that I saw, and then I'm going to come back to do a special, so y'all need to stick around for that. So let's start with hold on, let me do a thing. No, come here. No, you stop that. Come here. What are you doing? Okay, fine. We'll do it this way. So, we'll start with space weather news. Go ahead and take a look at the sun. That group that I was talking about last time when I was doing daily updates on the Facebook page, well, it's finally coming back. Nothing major from it yet, but for the most part, this is what we have been looking at. I mean, it's just really simple stuff. This is why I haven't been doing updates. We have little flecks, coronal freckling on the disc. We have some small concentrations on the poles, but that's about it. It's been a really quiet week for the sun. That's why I haven't been doing any updates on it. But as this active region starts coming back across the limb, I'm going to be doing daily updates again. So definitely be checking out the Facebook page for that. Let's see, where are we going from here? Bill Maher defends Donald Trump's merit-based immigration plan. Says that it sounds perfectly Republican. Normal Republican. One, is anyone surprised about this? That this is Bill Maher's take on it? I've told y'all for a while that there is an active part of the Socialist Party, the Socialist movement, that is not very friendly to open borders, because those people are actually intelligent and understand that if you have welfare programs, you can't just let people come in by the hundreds of thousands and start using welfare programs, either at the state level or federal assistance that some immigrants do get. It's mostly state-based losses, though. That idea of $120 billion that it's lost a year for illegal immigration, that's between state-based welfare programs and lost economy in jobs. But at the same time, those same immigrants do contribute back $110 billion into the economy every year. So it's really a net loss of $10 billion a year. $10 billion a year net loss in the economy due to illegal immigration. And, you know, there are people who are going to look at that and be like, well, why are we still losing that money? And I agree. But see, my solution is to get rid of the programs, to reform the programs so there is no siphoning, that you can't come here and just expect assistance from state and federal governments. That we don't do that here. Now, opposed to that, if you want to keep the social programs and the welfare systems in the state and federal governments, this is what you have to do. You have to restrict immigration on merit. Now, I don't necessarily believe in that, because there are, a lot of immigrants have come to this country and contributed to our society in greater ways than educated people have. We had Albert Einstein, who didn't finish high school, Nikola Tesla, who I don't even think ever went to high school. These were uneducated immigrants who came to the country. We had plenty of college graduates and masters and doctors back then, but they did more to revolutionize their fields than people who had doctorates. And I've said 100 times before that education is not it's not a yardstick. It's not a measuring unit for intelligence. Education isn't. Education really just tells you how likely you are to absorb something you are told as fact. It doesn't link to intelligence. It links to subservience. Education links to subservience. And it's more likely that going to a merit-based immigration system is going to drastically reduce drag on welfare systems on the state and federal levels. But we're going to lose out culturally because of that. Like, I don't expect an astrophysicist from India who has a PhD in quantum mechanics to cook me the dankest tikka masala that anyone has ever had in Greenville, South Carolina. I don't expect that. But you know what matters to me? Like, not more, because quantum physics is important, y'all. But to me, like, the person who is making that delicious tikka masala is every bit as valuable to the American community as the person who's trying to figure out string theory. Like, we would miss out culturally because of these things. And I would prefer that we just reform the system. So it's just a level playing field for everybody. And we don't have to restrict immigration off of that. But as long as we do have those welfare systems, this is going to be the system that we go with. We will end up on merit-based immigration. Even like socialist countries operate on merit-based immigration because they understand better than American college kids that, because they've done this already, that when they implemented these programs, they couldn't just let anyone and everyone from around the world come and get them. And that's something that we are going to run into here in the United States. And this is probably the direction that left socialism is about to take. Which I told you all that 2 years ago when I was still doing Vigilance Network stuff. Told you all that socialism was going to come back around to this. Too strong. Prediction game too strong. So, we're going to move on from that. And, go to SecDef Shanahan at the Singapore Summit, Shangri-La 2019. He is there to continue to build up relations with India, most importantly, but also the Philippines, Vietnam, different Pacific Theater nations. And as long as he can pull this off, and he doesn't like just go off the handle, he just goes there, shakes some hands, gives a speech, gets back on the plane, comes home. He might actually get confirmed as the permanent Secretary of Defense. But as soon as he got off the plane, he was already starting to talk crap about China. Now, y'all might remember from my last non-special video that I am not a fan of trade with China. I don't want us to be doing business with China at all. I think that American businesses need to be more intelligent than this, and just move your operations to another country with a current a similar labor rate, but isn't ruled by a communist regime that friggin' rounds up Christians and Muslims in concentration camps and starves their political dissenters to death by freezing their bank accounts. Maybe do that. Maybe change what we're doing there. But I'm not a fan of China. I'm not. And he started talking about the South China Sea Islands, and he's like, "This looks like y'all are getting a little bit built up over here. Y'all got landing strips and surface-to-air missiles. What are y'all planning?" And like I said, this entire thing is to bolster up the relationship between the U.S. and India, mostly, and of course the other allied nations in the theater. But hopefully, like I said, maybe he can get through this. He can not say anything stupid. He can get us home, get everybody on the same footing. But I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to get on a solid footing with China. We're obviously on a solid footing with our allies in the region, although they are starting to get wary about whether or not we're going to do anything. I'm not sure what we would do if we do anything, but That's the point of these discussions. Is for all of these people who can do something, have options on the table, come together and talk, hopefully peacefully, and can settle their disagreements. I doubt it, though. God help us all. With this this summit and the talk about tariffs escalating again, it's a good time to go get some gold. Good time to have already, especially, invested in precious metals, as the tariff news sends the gold prices going up. But if you can, you might want to go ahead and invest in some precious metal. I would if I could. Because I don't know if this is actually going to get any better. I really don't think it's going to get any better, this feud that we're having with China. I really wish that that Nixon had never opened up to them. But what can you do? What can you do? So, let's move on from this depressing stuff and talk about something that's actually really good. Really happy stuff that's going on. So, the feds are weighing whether or not to completely legalize CBD nationwide. And it would be very nice for them to do this. I saw that Ben & Jerry's is planning on putting out a CBD infused ice cream if it is legalized nationally, and I want to try it. And I don't know if the rumors are true, but Philip Morris was tossing around the idea of releasing CBD hemp cigarettes nationally if it's legalized nationally. And I gotta tell y'all, I got a bad smoking habit. I do. When I finish this video, I'm probably gonna go have a cigarette. It's a terrible habit. Don't do it. Don't ever start. But if I had an alternative where I could go to the gas station and buy a pack of hemp cigarettes that are tobacco free and have high levels of CBD, all the benefits and all that stuff, I'd probably switch over. I would probably switch over because it's really the habit and the convenience that keep me a tobacco addict. I could probably switch over to CBD if I could buy a box with 20 CBD joints in it for less than $10. Then I would definitely do it. I would definitely do it. And I definitely want to try that ice cream because that's going to be delicious. And in other cannabis news, Illinois lawmakers approved marijuana legalization. If you live in the state, then you are going to be allowed to buy 1 ounce at a time. A whole ounce at a time. Here is the kicker. And I about guarantee you that Illinois is going to start pushing this as in marketing for travel. Is that if you are out of state, you can still buy a half an ounce at a time. You can go to Illinois when this becomes completely legalized on vacation, and you can go into one of these stores, whatever stores they use to sell them, I'm guessing dispensaries, and you can buy a half an ounce of weed at a time. Who else is going to Illinois? Who else is going? Sorry, Colorado. I think I'm going to go with Illinois. I don't think Illinois is as cold as Colorado, but I could be very much wrong about that. Either way, I'm going to this during the summer. Y'all can keep the winter. I think that's going to be all of the news that I do today. But I am going to be coming back in a little bit to do a special about climate change. Yes, climate change. Those scary words. So, I will see y'all later. Have a fantastic day, fantastic night, depending on your specific geolocation on this earth that we inhabit. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you later.